morning, everyone. Good evening and good afternoon to viewers from all walks of life. This is Denzamos, and you are welcome to the channel of truth, enlightenment, freedom, and the channel of breaking empath free. If you are new on this channel, I talk about narcissism and narcissistic abuse. I talk about spirituality and I talk about personal and self-growth. And if any of that resonates with you, I invite you guys to join us, give us a like, share the video with friends, and you may subscribe if you haven't already. And for those that have always been with us, you are welcome back, and I thank you for your love and support. I thank you for your prayers, guys. I'm better. I'm getting better. My health has improved. I've been having a cold. For most of you guys who haven't been seeing me online, I've been having a cold for the past few days. It's gotten better. Thank you for your patience, and I thank you for your support and love. Now, today I want to talk about, I'm having a walk, but at the same time I want to make a video about um, the signs that you will experience, the telltale signs that you're embracing the highest version of you. Now, when we're talking about the highest version of you, we're talking about um, that version of you that exists out of the third dimension. So you're talking about the version of you that you embrace as you awaken and ascend towards the fifth dimension. So because you see, we have got the lower version of us, and then we have got the higher version, the highest version of us. So the lower version of us normally identifies most of the times with the ego. You know what I mean? It has got much to do with the ego. You know what I mean? What will so and so think about me? I'm the best at this. I'm the best at that. So you're just like living your life within the ego. You know what I mean? But when you start to embrace life at the fifth dimension, you realize that there's no ego on the fifth dimension. So whatever you're trying to do, whichever way you're trying to express yourself, you express it out of love. So you're not like deeply embedded within the ego. You no longer care. You're concerned about what is your neighbor going to think, what is my mom going to think, what is my dad going to think. You want to do things and express yourself organically and authentically and unapologetically. So you want to do things that are also not only you want to do things that are not only benefiting you on that level, on that frequency, but whatever it is you're doing and the love you're putting out there into the universe is also helping a lot of people around you. You know what I mean? So what do I mean by this is that now at that moment you're vibrating on the fifth dimension, which is the dimension of love. So everything you're doing out of your heart is out of your heart, and you are on that frequency of love. So you're doing things not only to help you, but also to help to reach out to the people around you, the community around you, and also the society around you. But you see, before you reach that level, you have got to go through an ascension process. So this ascension process normally happens when a person goes through some kind of a spiritual awakening. You know what I mean? So you go through a spiritual awakening, whichever way it might have happened to you, regarding depending on what has been your circumstances before the awakening. So many things might have happened on your journey, and you might have actually got spiritual awakened in whichever way, shape, or form. So that process of awakening also puts you on this journey of spiritual development. So you realize that actually from that day forward, your life is never going to be the same. You are going to start experiencing a lot of changes. Things are going to start going a different way. And you're going to realize that there is actually a hidden version of you that you've never known existed within you. It's just because for a long period of time, you've been used to do things on the third dimension. So on the very lower frequency. But at this moment, as you evolve, you realize that there is and there has always been a higher version of you that would actually perform better and do things much more better than you've always known and you've always used to do them. So on your journey of evolution, you will eventually meet your highest version. You eventually meet the highest version of you. Now, personally, this involves a huge, significant amount of change. Personally, I was struggling in those days to accept this because you see, when the change starts happening to you, you're trying to fight it. You know what I mean? You're trying to hang on, to hold on to the older version of you, but at the same time, your spirit is calling you. You feel another calling to go a certain direction, but at the same time, you're not used to that. To that, you're not used to going that direction. So you are usually trying to hold on to the lowest version of you. So it is the reason why they say change is uncomfortable, because when you're experiencing change, you feel like something is leaving you. You know what I mean? You feel like you're detaching from something or that version of you that you've always known. You know what I mean? So it is not familiar. It's not familiar territory, and that's the reason why they say it's very uncomfortable. You know what I mean? So there's very few people who are um, able and who have got the ability to adapt to change. You have got to go through a tremendous amount of experiences for you to adapt to the change. You know what I mean? To adapt to change. So in this video today, I'll give you about 7 or 8. I have about 8 of them. Signs that you're embracing the highest version of you. Now, the sign number 1 will be um, more than ever before, you will be usually misunderstood. Now, when you're talking about being misunderstood, you have always been misunderstood anyway. You know what I mean? So most of the times, as you start to evolve, you start to do things that you've never done before. So what do I mean by this? You're embracing your own spirituality. It doesn't matter whether you're a spiritual person or you're a religious person. You're starting to embrace more the spiritual version of you. You know, that spiritual side of you. And because of that, you may realize also you are starting to speak a different language. You're starting to move differently. You know what I mean? You're not moving the same way that you used to do. So it is the reason why you're going to realize that a lot of friends around you, family members and friends around you, they are continuously going to misunderstand you. And not only are they going to misunderstand you, they are also going to fall out with you. You know what I mean? So you're going to lose a lot of people around you. You realize that you no longer resonate and you no longer vibe with the family, friends, your dads, your moms, you know what I mean, your friend circles. Everybody will usually start to fall out with you. You know what I mean? So it is a sign, number 1, when you notice that you are more than ever in your life being misunderstood on a deep level, it is a sign for you to understand that you are actually embracing the highest version of you, because that is the version of you that people do not understand. You know what I mean? They do not resonate and they do not understand. And like I've said, it is not your job to judge anyone. So you just let them where they are and understand and accept that everybody evolves at their own time. So the second one I will talk about in this video is you will usually have that incident of door slamming people. So you're going to experience that process of door slam. Now, a lot of you guys have not really understood what exactly is door slam. So by door slam, what I mean is like you just like kind of shut people off permanently. You no longer have to explain to people why are you letting them go or why are you releasing them out of your life. So you are learning to how to door slam people, because now you're starting to understand your value and you're starting to understand that you have got to protect yourself, and you mean um, you have got to protect yourself, and you have got the power and the ability to do this by door slamming people. Now, apart from the door slam, whereby you will usually um, allow yourself to let people go unapologetically, you know what I mean? You will also experience, which is the third one, a significant change in diet. You know what I mean? So you're going to experience that you're usually no longer vibing with the foods that you used to eat before. So a time is going to come as well whereby you will sometimes look in your fridge and you realize that all the food that you used to eat before is gone. You know what I mean? So you have decided to replace different types of food. It doesn't necessarily mean that everybody who is like embracing the highest version of them, they are trying to go vegan and all this. You guys have heard about that situation where people are trying to go vegan, you know, vegetarian or whatever it is. You may sometimes be the case like that, but you will also experience that there is a significant change in that. So the food that you're eating as an individual has actually also altered and changed. You know what I mean? So the fourth one, which is one of the most obvious one, as you embrace the highest version of you, also you will realize that you're always going to continuously be attacked. Now, this may be sometimes physical attacks, although very rarely, but most of the times you experience, as a person who is evolving to become the highest version of you, you're going to experience a lot of spiritual attacks. So these attacks may come from the people you know. So these may be the people who don't want you to evolve, the people who don't want you to see, who don't want to see you doing better than you used to do. So this may be your family members, you know what I mean? These may be haters, secret haters. This may be your enemies. This may be the people that you used to date before. So sometime you will realize that you're being attacked in your dreams. You're being attacked on a daily basis. You know what I mean? So if a person is evolving, you best believe that attacks are always going to be a common thing. You know what I mean? Wherever you're evolving to become the highest version of you, spiritual attacks are going to be a common phenomenon. So you're going to experience them on a daily basis. Normally, you're not bothered with that because you know how to protect yourself. You know what I mean? Because you already know even before you started evolving that you've always been attacked. But this time is going to become more prevalent that most of the people you have always known to be your friends, close family members and friends, they have never wished to be, they have never wished you well. And behind closed doors, those are the individuals who are the first ones going to attack you as you evolve and moving towards the highest version of you. Now, the fifth one will be you recognize that as you're evolving to become the highest version of you, you are actually starting to speak less. So you're becoming more observant. You know what I mean? You're just moving out in the out there into like starting your day. You're seeing a lot of things happening around you. You're seeing the way the matrix works, the way the matrix operates, but you're also realizing that you're no longer speaking more than you used to speak before. So if you are speaking, you only want to make sure that you make a point. So you may be a person who is into public speaking, motivational speaking, things like that. You only want to speak when you're trying to make a point. But otherwise, when you're just in your own comfort zone, you want to be as quiet as you can. So you're more of on the observing side of life. You know what I mean? So you're no longer speaking. You're more of observing and no longer speaking the same way you used to do before. So you're going to realize as a person who is growing and evolving to become the highest version of you that you're actually speaking less. You're only coming around in your house, coming out of your house, and you're just like observing the world around you. You know what I mean? And you're not as well judging anyone. You're just seeing things as they are. You understand things as they are. You're not judging anyone because you understand everybody's evolving at their own time. So you're giving everybody time to evolve. Um, you're giving everybody time and allowing everybody to evolve at their own time. So you're not judging anybody. You're just observing the world in front of you. Now, the one which is number 6 I'll talk about in this video is you are searching for your purpose. You might have actually found your purpose at some point because before even you meet your highest version of you, you have gone through this transformation process, which in some cases has aligned you with your life purpose. So you will also recognize that if you haven't yet found your purpose, you are going to be extremely, extremely desperate to find your purpose. It is going to come to that point whereby you're starting to get bored of your the jobs that you've always been doing. Yes, you may still be doing your job, the regular job that you've always done before. You may still be doing it, but you're going to realize that that job is starting to bore you. You know what I mean? So you're starting to get bored with the normal job. You are in that job, but you're thinking that you deserve more, you deserve better. You're thinking that what should you do? You know what I mean? You want to get out of there. You do not know how to get out of there. You know what I mean? So you're seeking in every way that you can. You're seeking something better for yourself. You know what I mean? You want to live in your truth, but at the same time, you don't want to give your power away to somebody else. You know what I mean? So you realize now that you've always been giving your power away to so many different kinds of individuals. You've been giving your power away to your bosses, to your friends, to your families, to your partners, and things like that. Now you're coming to that point whereby you're realizing you have got to find the power that is within you and to start living a life of purpose. So you're desperately searching. If you haven't yet already, you're still searching for your purpose. And at some point, like I've always said, that purpose is always going to come to you, and you're going to live a life of purpose. And at the same time, as you're living a life of purpose, you're also realizing that you're leaving your comfort zone. So you're no longer afraid to put yourself out there. You know what I mean? To start to try new things, to travel to new places, to travel to new destinations. You have that kind of unstoppable spirit, which makes you believe that you're unstoppable. You know what I mean? And the fact is that you're unstoppable. You're going to realize that you're starting to go places and move places. You are out of your comfort zone. You are desperately searching for purpose. You know what I mean? So it is another sign that will help you understand and realize that you're actually embracing the highest version of you. Now, the other one, which will be number 7, is you will realize as a person who is evolving to become the highest version of you that a lot of things are starting to make you, old habits. There are some of those things you used to do, used to be with your mates back in the days. You used to club, you used to smoke joints, you used to have a drink or things like that. You're starting to realize that those things are making you sick. You know what I mean? Now, you have to remember that life on the fifth dimension is a life that doesn't recognize third dimensional things. So it doesn't recognize low vibrational things. So when you see a lot of people, like people are dragging you to go for a drink, or people are dragging you to go for a party, music and the things like that, the things you used to do before. you are going to realize as you involve yourself in those activities, even sometimes it can be something as simple as the food you used to eat. That thing is going to make you sick to the stomach. So you might have been a person who has evolved at a certain degree, and sometimes you have also left so many people behind, family members, friends, you've left relatives. The more you engage, at one point in time, you go back there and revisit those incidences or those people or circumstances. You're going to realize that you're uncomfortable in those situations. Sometimes they are making you feel very sick in the stomach. So it is your higher self now telling you that, listen, you have already evolved from this level. You're no longer vibing with these people. You know what I mean? So you need to understand that you have already let them go for a particular reason. So you need to keep on going and ascending to become the highest version of yourself. There's a lot of better things up in the fifth dimension. So your higher self is not allowing you to vibe anymore with the people that you used to vibe before. So it's the reason why sometimes, for example, you are eating the food that you used to eat 2 years ago, 3 years ago, the food is making you sick. Sometimes you're going for a drink, you end up throwing up because of that drink. You know what I mean? Your body can no longer resonate and can no longer vibe with alcohol. So there is things that have changed within your body, and your old habits, the things that you used to do, friends, family, um, old situations, old things. So anything that was describing you in your lower self does no longer resonate and vibe with you on your higher self. So when you ever revisit those incidences, it is going to make you sick to your stomach. That is when you know that you're actually embracing the highest version of you. It is a very clear sign, ladies and gentlemen. So I think the last one I can talk about now. There can be so many on this journey of evolution. There can be so many. So if there's some that I've not mentioned in this video, like you guys already know, you can always come down in the comment section below and share with us what has been your experience. But I've just given to you my 8 signs that you're evolving to become the highest version of you. Now, the eighth one will be you will be a person who is no longer vibing with the news. You know what I mean? Now, when we're talking about the news, we're talking about television, and we're talking about those programs that actually make you sick to your stomach and keep you in that fear frequency. Now, when I'm talking about news, when you wake up in the morning, you turn on your TV. You had best believe and I'd better guarantee that the first news you're going to watch is about a person that has been stabbed in the neighborhood, or there has been a bombing in the next town or the next city, there has been a theft going on. You are not going to turn on the news. Yes, there may be sometimes good things happening on the news every now and then, but you are going to realize that almost 85% of the news that you're watching every day, they're all low vibrational things. There are things that are happening in the next country, theft, robberies, rapes, criminals, gangs, and all these kind of things. You're going to realize that the news has always held you in a very low vibration. So, as a person who is evolving and has evolved and has embraced the highest version of you, you have actually turned off your TV at some point. I remember personally, there was a time I was thinking that I need to throw the TV out of the window, because I realized every morning I woke up every single morning, I was putting on something with the news, and it was making me vibrate low the whole day. You know what I mean? Because you see, sometimes you have to be careful. The first things you watch in the morning when you get up, they actually determine your day. You know what I mean? So I realized that actually most of the times it had been some kind of a conditioning whereby I was usually getting up to the news, and I would live my day, the whole entire day, in the negative frequency and a negative vibe. So as a person who has embraced the highest version of you, the news is no longer a thing for you. Yes, you watch the news. I mean, you watch the news every now and then. Sometimes you want to tune in just to get updated on what is going on. But you're no longer that person who is going to sit down for hours and hours just like trying to watch the news, who has bombed which country, who has stolen this, who has robbed the neighbor, who has done this. You are realizing the negativity that is projected towards the masses using the news. So the news is no longer part of the problem. You're sometimes turning off the TV. If you are switching on the TV, you're only trying to find those programs that are actually going to uplift you and uplift your spirit and uplift your soul, because you already understand, and you now understand the reason why people are living very low on the low vibration each and every single day. It has also been part of the news. So now you're choosing high vibrational things. You're only watching programs that are feeding your soul, programs that are actually taking you to the next level, teaching you something new, teaching you something you never knew before. You're now tuning in to higher frequencies, and you're no longer vibing with lower frequencies. So guys, ladies and gentlemen, these are the things I've told you. I've given you my 8 signs that you're embracing the highest version of you. If there is something that I've not mentioned, like I've said, you can always join us in the comment section below. Let us know your experience and what you think about this video. And until then, guys, it's been lovely to have you guys on board. Keep on praying for me. I'm still healing with the cold, and things are getting better with time. Drop us a comment if you like, share the video and like the page. And until then, I'll catch you guys in my next one. There's about signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.